When I stood before you 9 months ago to speak in opposition of the water bond, I said that we weren't listening. Even then, the polls were clear. A majority of the voters did not support a water bond. And yet we went ahead and we placed the bond on the ballot. And now we want a do-over. When organizations put an initiative on the ballot and the polls aren't going their way, do they get a do-over? I don't think so. And let's think about the bond itself. You've got an $11.14 billion bond. Out of that bond, $2.25 billion goes to restoring the delta, of which 3/4 you can divert for purposes of conveyance and not even spend to restore the delta. And $3 billion goes to dams to increase storage capacity. So less than half the bond even goes towards the objectives of the water policy, which was to restore the delta and increase reliability. And in the history of this state, we have never financed major water infrastructure through general obligation bonds. The Oroville Dam, which was the largest dam in the United States at the time it was built, was funded through revenue bonds. The Central Valley Water Project, the State Water Project, both of those were funded through revenue bonds, where the beneficiaries paid the cost of construction. At a time when we are making major cuts to schools, major cuts to public safety, major cuts to other health and human services programs, is this the time to have a bond of this magnitude and to take on, and for the state to take on another major infrastructure? We can't afford it. This bond will result in $800 million a year in debt service for 30 years. Think about how that impacts our schools. In my classroom cabinets throughout my district, my schools are laying off teachers who have anywhere from 5 to 10 years seniority. And if anyone thinks the picture is going to be any different 2 years from now, I've got news for you. It's not. We're not recovering that quickly. This was a bad bond when we put it on the ballot in 2010, and there's nothing about extending it that makes it a good bond. Over half the bond is filled with pork. And I want to tell you, I believe both Republicans and Democrats should be embarrassed at the amount of pork that is in this bond. We put it on the ballot. We need to go ahead and let the voters decide and let the voters vote on it. If you want to take it off completely, but don't extend the date. That's not the way we should be doing business. No one else gets a do-over. We shouldn't have a do-over either.